Hi there, crafty friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Melissa, and today we are going to use the birthday treat box from Pretty Pink Posh to make these adorable little Easter baskets. Now, when I first saw this die set, I thought, oh my gosh, that's a French fry box. And it is so cute. So we've got the birthday treat box die set here, and in the die set you get the box, and then you also get some other dies in there so you can decorate it for a birthday box. But we are turning this into a Easter basket. So I've gone ahead and I've got my die cut out with colored cardstock here, and then I also cut out one in white because we are going to color that. But I didn't do the whole thing because I don't need the whole thing in white. I just need the front of it. So we've got that all ready. So let's go ahead and start putting this together. It's really, really easy. I've got my little score marks in there. Do your sides first. And then it is super easy to just kind of bend back that middle part, and that just takes shape in that curve. You don't need to put any pressure or anything. It will just bend perfectly. So now we need to add some double-sided tape, and I am doing that to the inside here of the shorter side of the box. Just like that. And it is super easy to put together. So I just lined up these scallops. I've got a scallop on this side and a scallop on that side, and I just line them up so they match, just like that. And then I can just take it and put some pressure on there, burnish it so that tape sticks. Same thing on the other side, just like that. And there we've got our French fry box. So now we need to decorate. What I did here is on my extra white piece that we are going to color, I just fold over the score marks, and then I bring in my trimmer because I want this to be cut right where that score line is. So I just fold that over, stick it in my trimmer, and just line it up on that edge, and it cuts it off perfectly. And that way it is going to fit your box just right. And sometimes you do need to kind of scooch it over just a little bit and get that other piece off. And then for our scallop here on the bottom, I just fussy cut it. I just took my scissors and I'm just going to trim right along that line, just so I get the shape of that curve, and that is perfect. So now we can go ahead and start stamping. So for my stamps, I have had these forever. I've got 3 Pretty Pink Posh sets. I have the Easter Friends, I have Easter Sentiments, and I have Bunny Friends. Now you don't need to get all 3 of these. Use what you have. But I've taken a little bit from each of these because this is such a small area. It was hard for me to find something that everything would fit on there together. So I've got the bunny from the Bunny Friends and the flower. From the Easter Sentiments, I've got the 3 eggs. And then from Easter Friends, I've got the Happy Easter and 1 of the eggs. And I've also got 1 other egg from Easter Sentiments. I've got these all lined up in my mini Misty here. And we are going to start with what we want in the foreground. I want my 3 eggs and my bunny in the foreground. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this, because I want to come back in after we're done coloring and re-stamp it. I'm just going to take the bottom, push it down on the bottom of that Misty, and push that over to the edge. As soon as it hits, I am going to stop. So we've got that in there. We need to make sure we can close this, and that should be good. And then I'm going to bring in my Memento because we are coloring with alcohol markers. And we're going to be doing some masking also. Once you get it set up in your Misty, it comes together really easily and it is super cute. I think I'm going to move that over there. That's good. We've got our little daisy up here. It's hard to see it because I've got my tape on there, but it is up there. We are going to ink this up again. We don't have to get a perfect image, but I do want a pretty good image because we are coloring it. Just like that. That's good. Then we can take this out. I've already got all my masks cut. I've got the 3 eggs, 2 individual eggs, and the bunny. So here we need to bring in the mask for the 3 eggs because we want to stamp 2 other eggs and have them be behind these. So whatever you want in the foreground is what you need to stamp first. So then I can flip this over. We should probably wipe this off a little bit. I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to take this piece, push it to the bottom, and then push it over to the edge of the Misty. And as soon as it stops, I am going to put my magnet on it. Then we can take a look, see where we've got our magnet. It needs to come over here. Then we can take a look and we can see that our Easter, our happy Easter is right there, and our eggs are in the perfect place. So let's go ahead and stamp this up. Just like that. Perfect. That's good for a start. Now we need to take this out of here. And then we need to mask everything else because we are going to add our background. So we'll just take our eggs. We'll cover up the 2 that we just stamped. Just like that. We need to mask off our bunny. So now I've got my stencil mask from Waffle Flower. We are going to use that. And I've also got a couple masks here that I cut with one of my dies. I believe this is from Lawn Fawn and it is the Grassy Hillside border. I don't have a label with it. I have had it in my stash forever. So we need to create our grass. So let's bring in a piece of paper and we are just going to stick that right there. And we need to decide where we want the grass to start. I know I want it to be behind his little feet and I want it to be behind the eggs. So we're just going to lay that mask down there. And we need to add our grass. And for my grass, I'm using Pinkfresh Key Lime. And I am going to put this on there actually pretty heavily. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. It is actually cloudy again here and rainy. It was raining all morning. It seems to have let up a little bit right now, but it is still rainy. So I'm just going to put quite a bit of ink on there. I think that's probably pretty good. It will lighten as it dries. It is a dye ink. So we can take that off of there. Everything is still masked. We've still got our bunny and our eggs masked. We are going to bring in Pinkfresh Sky Blue, and we are just going to make some clouds. This is my favorite part. I love doing this. Oops, but we need to put our other mask on there. So now we will cover up the grass. We don't want to mix our green with our blue. I mean, it wouldn't be much, but I just prefer to cover it up. So then we can bring in our stencil and just add some color. We're going to move our stencil, and you guys have seen me do this. It's not difficult. We're just creating a background. And I rotate my stencil so I get different cloud patterns throughout the whole thing. I think that's probably pretty good right there. And now we can just take and fill in those white spaces just a little bit, just so it's not so stark white. Perfect. Let's get this out of here. Put our stencil away and continue on here. And that is going to be so cute. So we can take off our masks now, and you can reuse your masks. I have a whole pile over here that I've been using because I am going to make about 20 of these little treat baskets so I can hand them out to people at the post office. I can hand them out to the girls at the market. I can hand them out wherever I go. And that is adorable. This is going to be so cute once we get it all colored up. I've got my markers all laid out, and we are going to go ahead and start coloring. I will have all the colors used listed in the description below. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up and like this video. So I'm going to do basic coloring, but I'm going to show you first what I did for the bunny. So I've got two colors. I've got a darker brown and a lighter brown. And I am just going to color in his ears with the darker brown. And then I am going to bring in my lighter brown. And for my lighter brown, I'm going to do the base. So for example, I'm going to color his whole arm here with the lighter brown. Oops, always have your colorless blender handy. I got a little bit carried away there, it looks like. I got a little bit out of the line, but that's okay. You can just push that ink right back where it belongs. So now we'll take our darker marker and we will just kind of outline. I'm not really doing much shading here. I'm just outlining his little arm there. And then I will bring back in my lighter brown and I will just blend those colors. I will just mix those two browns and kind of push that darker brown in the middle so it gives us some shading. Just like that. And that is so easy. Let's go ahead and do one more arm. Oops, we need the light one first. We'll do his other little arm. Outline with the darker. And then blend those colors. I just do a little swirl motion and just mix that darker and kind of push it to the center of the image. Just like that. So I will go ahead and do his face here. I've got my little bunny all colored in. For his ears, I am going to use R20, and I will be doing his ears and his nose in R20. Just like that. He is so cute. And he is coming along wonderfully. So now I've got all my little eggs colored in. I colored in the flower there. And now we are all ready to go ahead and stamp again. Let's get our markers out of the way here. Because when you ink blend over that Memento and then also use your alcohol markers, it kind of fades the color just a little bit. So let's get him back in there. And I'm just going to take this, push it to the bottom, and then as soon as it hits that corner over there, I know it's in place, so I can go ahead and stamp. And that is going to stamp right over the original stamping. Just like that. And see, when you get that second layer, when you get that added layer of ink on there, it just makes those images pop so much. That is so cute. So now we need to mask those eggs again, because we are going to stamp again in the other direction. And we don't want the whole egg on there. We just need to mask that. And then we can flip our Misty over and we can do the same thing here. Let's see, where do we put that? I think if we put it right there, that should be good. There we go. And now we're going to stamp our Happy Easter and our eggs. Once we get that extra layer of ink on there, it is just adorable. There we go. Now we can put this together. Let's get that mask off of there. And it's perfect. That is so cute. So we've got our little box here. I am just going to glue this directly on there. And I could have done a white box and colored on here before I assembled it, but I didn't want people to see the alcohol marker coming through. So that's why I did it this way. We'll just get some glue on there. Line up the scallops at the top. And that is perfect. That little box is assembled and ready to fill almost. So for my little handle, I was unsure about my handles and if I should even put one on there. It's okay right now, but I am also going to be putting some jelly beans in there when it comes closer to me handing them out. And I was afraid it might make it a little bit heavy, but I think it might be okay. I will probably do some with a handle and some without. But for my little handle, I wanted something scalloped. So I brought in my slim stitched scalloped rectangles. And I just took the smaller rectangle and I just had strips of paper and I just ran them through the die cut machine and then cut them at the bottom. So that's all we're doing. We're just getting our handle just like that. We are going to put a couple little drops on the scalloped side here. And I'm just going to attach that right on the inside. Hold it for just a second. Then we can bring it around and attach on the other side. And I just hold it in place just for a minute or two, not even a minute, 30 seconds, just so that glue adheres. And there you go. We have a perfect little Easter basket, and that is so cute. I can't wait to hand these out. So I am going to be doing about 20 of these. I've got one I did in orange. I've got a pink one. I've got the green one. And we've got our purple here. I also did a yellow. And then we've got our blue one that I showed you for my sample. These are so cute. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about these little baskets. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.